Desperate times call for desperate measures. I mean, in Brittany's case, she will die if she doesn't get her eating under control. Over 600 pounds? How could somebody let this happen? Why would something like this happen? Let's go ahead and take a look. But before we do, I'm Dr. Nick Zyrowski, and I started my holistic health practice in order to help you take control of your health naturally, because true health only comes naturally. Let's go ahead and take a look at Brittany's story and see what's happening here. Let's try to break this down and make some sense of this.
I probably spend a good 6 to 8 hours on my couch every single day. The only time I do get up is to get food. I think about food non-stop, from the moment I wake up till the moment I go to bed. And I know that's not normal. But I can't remember a time when food wasn't the most important thing to me.
Situations like these are incredibly complex. It's not just as easy as make better choices or, you know what, stop eating so much. It's far more complex than that. In this particular situation, as she's talking right here, she's saying, well, I think about food all day. As soon as I wake up to the time I go to bed, it's always calling me. One of the things that happens to a lot of people is they get on this negative feedback cycle. The more you eat, the more you want. The worse you eat, the more you crave sugar, the more you crave carbohydrates, and this negative feedback cycle just comes and haunts you. I mean, you could even take pretty healthy individuals, and if they get into that habit, next thing you know, it starts to come back and haunt them. I'll have some people who, like I said, make good choices on a regular basis, but they'll go down a pretty bad path. And that's when we'll go and we'll throw like a 48-hour fast in or something just to cut those cravings, to break that cycle and get them back on the right track.
I want to make Brittany happy any way I can. Chocolate ice cream or
The chocolate one.
And I am a full-on enabler, and I am very aware I'm an enabler.
Yeah. Okay, are we done?
Actually, you're gonna have to park here for a minute.
Why?
I gotta get the mac and cheese.
Oh.
A situation like Brittany's, where you see obesity at this level, almost always has an enabler. From the outside looking in, it's tough because you look at that person, you go, why are you enabling it? Why don't you step in and intervene? Why don't you stop it? Why don't you get them help? The problem is they love that individual. Her husband loves her, and he feels in order to love her, he needs to show support for the lifestyle she's choosing. It's so important that they do step in if they truly love her, because this lifestyle that she's living with obesity at this level, it can kill you.
When I'm eating food, everything's okay for that one moment. Nothing else matters. I'm not thinking about the past. It's bliss. And so I'm constantly trying to find that moment where I'm okay.
Brittany alone could eat as much food as a normal family of four would order.
That's incredible. First of all, when you look at this situation of Brittany's, I mean, you have to be eating an enormous amount of food in order to maintain that type of weight. The thing is, in her situation that's very difficult is that she looks at food as comfort versus nourishment. And whether you're in her shoes or you're somebody who is maybe just 20 pounds overweight, it's always more complex trying to eat healthy when you look at food as a form of comfort. It just always is. People who look at it in that way really struggle a lot. That's why I always try to get people to look at food as nourishment. The food that you're putting in your body is fuel. That's what it is. Sure, we all enjoy food. I love good food. But if we can only perceive it as comfort, then anytime we're stressed, anytime we're in a bad mood, guess where we find that comfort? All in food.
For having children, time is running short. The way Brittany's body and joints are deteriorating, she is getting to the point where she's pretty much housebound. The next progression is bedbound, where she's unable to take care of herself at all.
And if Brittany's bedbound, there's just no way she's gonna be able to get that movement in that she needs in order to support weight loss. Obviously, she's gotta get her diet under control, but the thing that is so challenging in this case is that your joints aren't designed to carry that much weight. I work on people all the time, and they have disc herniations, and they have all kinds of just joint issues in general, knees, ankles, hips, everything. Until they get their weight under control, they just can't get the joint issues under control. Your joints just were not made to walk around carrying 600 pounds. In her case, it's over that.
Arden.
It's nice to meet you.
And you're Brittany, huh?
Yep, Brittany.
So you're over 600 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think got you to this weight?
emotional eating in general. Stress, depression, anxiety, but I also eat when I'm happy and when things are going good.
Okay.
I just eat.
Brittany clearly is a compulsive eater. This type of behavior is usually a result of emotional trauma. When an enabler is involved, it is one of the most difficult dynamics to break.
There you have it, okay? Brittany's in a tough spot. She has her husband who's the enabler. Once again, he's not choosing to because he wants her to be like this. It's just because he loves her. And that's how he's showing his love. He's enabling her. And then she has a problem where she was abused as a child. So there's the psychological component. And psychological components are almost always involved when things get this far out of control. And this is why it's a tough situation. It's a sad situation. And you know, when you see people like this, you can't judge them. I mean, you literally have to have compassion for their circumstances because they are able to get it under control, but they need the proper help to do it. They need a team around them in order to show them how to eat, in order to work through some of the psychological issues that are happening, right? They need the support from the loved ones around them to get them in the right direction. It is a process.
At this point, you're not going to be a candidate for any kind of surgery, but you can get to that point by losing some weight and changing your eating habit. So frequency of eating has to be only 3 times a day.
No snacks, like not even like
No
carrots
snacks.
or nothing.
No.
Okay.
There is no such thing like a healthy snack.
Okay.
If you change your habit, you should be able to lose 40 pounds in 1 month.
This is interesting. She wants to get weight loss surgery, and her doctor, who is doing a very good thing, says, look, I'm not going to do weight loss surgery on you until you get things under control. Because if you get the weight loss surgery and you don't have your eating under control and you don't have the enabler under control, then she's just going to ruin all of his work. And the whole thing would have been just a big waste of time and waste of money. And that's a surgery. Like, who goes through a surgery if you're not going to be, you know, disciplined on the other end of it? So he wants to make sure that she's disciplined before he'll even do it. And plus, it's highly a risky situation when she weighs that much. So he wants her to lose weight, get things under control. 40 pounds though. 40 pounds in a month, that's a lot of weight. But you have to understand, in this situation, you have to eat a lot of food in order to maintain that kind of weight. 40 pounds in a month is totally doable. Now, if you're narrowing in and you're trying to lose 10 to 15 pounds, you'll be, you know, lucky to lose a pound a week. That would be healthy weight loss. But in her case, being that she has so much weight to lose, she can easily do it if she stays disciplined.
I've done really well. Stayed within 1,200 calories, very little carbs. So I think I've done really well.
So the diet is working for you.
So am I on the right path? I'm doing okay?
Yeah, you're doing good.
Really?
You understand the process and you're able to make changes in your eating habits, so you're a good candidate for surgery.
So there you have it. The doctor said, you got things under control. You've proved to me you can do it. So I will do surgery on you, because that's very important. If a doctor doesn't do this prior to a surgery, he's doing the patient a massive disservice. Now, the other thing to look at is, wow, 1,200 calories. That is quite a big cut. I wouldn't have expected him to go all the way down to 1,200, because I'd imagine she's eating probably somewhere near 10,000+ calories per day. All the way down to 1,200 took massive discipline on Brittany's part. And not to mention, not only did she calorie cut, but she also made sure that she was eating proper food. So you know what? Huge props to her, because that just takes enormous effort. I work with patients all the time and they're not nearly this bad, but they're in the situation where they're like 300 pounds, let's say, and they really struggle. So I can feel the struggle that she has. I feel the struggle that the doctor has in getting to have these patients do what he's looking to have them accomplish. These are complicated situations, and it's so good to see people follow through with it. It feels so good, actually, from a doctor's perspective, to see these people achieve their goals and listen to your advice, get that strict discipline in order, and now she's gonna go through with the surgery.
Today, we're going to do gastric bypass on Brittany. Gastric bypass is the most effective method of weight loss surgery.
A gastric bypass surgery is where they go in and they remove parts of the stomach. They cut part of the stomach out and they make the stomach smaller. What's gonna happen from here, the person will eat fewer calories every time they eat, simply because their stomach is smaller. Their stomach might go from the size of a football down to the size of a baseball. Now, one of the bad things here is that if the person doesn't have their eating under control, they can basically undo the surgery by expanding their stomach again if they're just stuffing a lot of food down. Here's one of the things I don't typically like about this surgery. This surgery is often done on people who really just need to focus on eating healthy and getting their diet under control, but a doctor in many cases will put them right in the surgery. I don't believe that's the case here, simply because this is more of a desperate times call for desperate measures. I mean, in Brittany's case, she will die if she doesn't get her eating under control, so I think this is probably the most appropriate route for her.
I'm gonna work out for the first time in my life. Okay, so I just step on it?
Yeah, just step on it.
Oh God. Okay.
There you go.
I've never been on a treadmill.
See how easy it is?
I'm gonna do everything it takes to keep losing weight and making progress.
And stop. Good job.
Lord have mercy.
I know that's right.
So that when I go out again with Bill, there'll be nothing I can't do.
Brittany has momentum right now, and she is taking every ounce of that momentum and just charging forward, and that's awesome. She's already putting in enormous effort. You know, think about where she's coming from the place that she's at. Eating the healthy diet and cutting the calories takes enormous amount of effort. And then after that, she's like, no, I'm not stopping there. I am gonna take control of my health, and I'm gonna take control of my life, and I'm not gonna live like this. I won't stand for this anymore. I'm putting my foot down, and she's hitting the gym. And she hired a trainer, which is a smart move, because there's a lot of people who they don't feel comfortable with exercise. I recommend to them, I say, well, why don't you hire a trainer? And they're like, well, I don't need a trainer. I can go out and walk on my own, and I can go out and, you know, lift some light weights or whatever. But I'm like, you know what? The trainer is gonna hold you accountable. It's gonna help you stay disciplined, and they're going to be there to encourage you. Brittany needs a trainer. She got a trainer. She is doing the right thing, and she's gonna get incredible results. I bet she will.
375.
That's awesome. It's a lot of weight loss.
Now that's truly incredible, and there's no doubt that this has been a massive struggle for her and just a complete uphill battle. She's going to see her doctor now. Come on and tell us something good, Doc.
Down to 375 pounds.
It's exciting.
That's very good. Brittany has done extremely well. I'm very proud of her. She's well on her way to hitting her target weight next year. You have come a long way from being almost 600 pounds.
Yes. I haven't been this way in a long, long time.
I expect that in a year you're gonna be under 200 pounds.
That's exciting.
See, this is exciting for me to watch because I can feel the vibe coming from it. You know, I've worked with patients where it's like they've had enormous transformations and their lives are just changed in such a positive direction. And they're beaming and I'm beaming and we're both happy because let me tell you, I've had a lot of other situations as well where it's like they won't listen to me. They're like, I'm going the other direction. I'm not listening to you. What you want me to do is too hard. And that's frustrating. It's frustrating for me because I want to help them. And it's frustrating even if this doc, if he was to put the effort into seeing her and wanting to help her and she was like, you know what, I'm going back to Comfortville. I'm gonna sit on my bed and I'm gonna eat pizza and I'm just gonna bask in that comfort. It would be frustrating for him, but imagine the frustration she would feel as her health declines. When everybody puts that effort in, oh my gosh, it's just such a great feeling.
I'm so much happier and I'm so proud of myself and I have so much more confidence and I'm looking forward to starting my family with Bill. A year ago, I was on my couch, away from the world, hiding, ashamed. Today, I'm out in the world, proud of who I am.
This is an incredible transformation. If you're struggling with your health in some way, let this story be a guide to you. That on the other side of discipline and hard work, perseverance and fear and struggle lies results, happiness, and success, so that you can be the person that you're truly meant to be. Take the first steps on losing weight by watching these videos right here. One of the things that people have a big struggle with is they're consuming coffee in the morning that has more sugar than a can of soda, and then they're consuming sodas throughout the day. Let's stick to good quality beverages. Think coffee, tea,